Um, yeah, so it did stop. My bad if I forget something, but back to what I was saying. I don't know how much I got. Probably got to record the whole thing over. But I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, and um, I got raped in August of last year. It was attempted rape, I guess, um, but I think it was still rape regardless because the person tried to take my clothes off my pants because I was holding my shorts up. Um, but how that happened started off back in 2021 when COVID was still going on. I was sick or whatever. I was told to stop taking one medicine, start and keep taking another. Um, so I kept calling back, inboxing back. So I was like, forget it, she's not responding or whatever. Come to find out, I didn't know my health insurance went on, which when I first went, before I ever got any insurance, went to go get insurance, I told the hospital that I went to before they referred me to them, like, I don't have insurance. And she was like, oh, okay, well, they take people that don't have insurance. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then when I got the insurance, I was like, okay, gave the lady the card because I'm thinking that it kick in, whatever, but because they already sent me the card. So I'm thinking that it kicked in. Kind of found out it don't even kick in until a certain month. And I was like, oh, so I was just lost. Like, but I ain't know that if that was the issue, like, I ain't getting no calls, none to let me know, like, your insurance, like, or whatever. So, but they were saying that they take no insurance. But first, before that, it was a Zoom call. So she gave me a whole bunch of. So I kept saying my chest or whatever. I do need my Hermes because at this time I was taking over the counter and I ran out because I was like, I don't have no Hermes. I need my Hermes. At this time I didn't have no more of that. So instead of me, since that's not, I thought I was like, okay, I could just get instead of getting the over counter, going to buy some, I could actually get some from her. Like while I'm asking, she could write it. So she was like, all right, I'll write a prescription for it. Like, so that and that. So I'm not a doctor. All I said was like my chest was like hurting or whatever. So she wrote me a prescription for all of that. So when I finally did want to go see her, I had my insurance card. Like at this time I got some insurance, but I didn't think to call the insurance people and be like, oh, is it on yet? Until after I was like, let me call till I to the GI thing or the other ones. To the GI, and they was like, oh, that's not even activated. So I'm like, okay, like I'm confused. Like, cause I just paid for it, whatever. So I end up calling. Either it was before the GI or whatever. I end up calling or whatever. And they said it went on. They said it don't kick in until months after such and such such. Like that's normally how insurance is. That was like the first insurance thing. Because I was calling to figure out insurance. So after that, she wouldn't answer me. None wasn't getting better. She took me off the iron thing. So I kept saying something smelled. I didn't understand what was smelling, what was hurting. I still had hemorrhoids back there. So when I went to I drove myself to the hospital because like my ex won't wake up. and he wouldn't wake up because I don't know. But son told me again to wake up, like son, and I fell off the bed, but I couldn't breathe. Like I wasn't breathing. Like my throat around this time, my throat was like bothering me or whatever. Um, I went. She sent me to two surgeons, doctors, or whatever to see whatever. One gave me interflorous cream because I had herpes back there, and another one gave me some. I was like, it happened. I'm having a smell, and one gave me some. I forgot the medicine, but gave me some of that. But when I was asleep, I had to be. I drove myself to the hospital because, like I said, my ex wasn't waking up or whatever. He wasn't getting up at the time. But something told me to get up, and I got up and I wasn't breathing, so I kept trying. I couldn't talk. I kept trying to hit him, and he wouldn't wake up. So I went downstairs to go get some water to try to get whatever coming up to like go down or whatever, so I could be able to talk or whatever. So I kept drinking water, and I took the cup with me just so. So the hospital wasn't far from where I was at. So I drove myself up there and kept trying to breathe at the same time. So when I got up there, they did like run blood, did an ultrasound, see, gave me something to try to push it down so I can't use it out. Whatever kept coming up, and he kept saying that I was filled full of poop. I didn't know what was going on. So after that he asked me, do I feel better? And I was like, yeah, I feel better. It's down. So he was like, if you still feel it, come. He was like, you gotta get yourself into the GI doctor quick to see if you feel, just drink that. So I left, and I kept drinking that to push it down, like to keep pushing it down so I was able to breathe and talk. So I finally got in the GI doctor. When I got there and they did the procedures on me, I was telling him about like on my iron. She said she was going to send me to the fusion center or whatever. Um, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna talk to her about that or whatever. I don't know, doctors. So after he did a procedure, this thing he did too. He said, all you got back there is hemorrhoid. So I was like, oh, okay. And gave me a piece of paper where it was flame at. It was flame down the bottom. And next thing you know, they did the other one where he was like, well, I'm going to do another thing to check. I was like, they already did an ultrasound on my gallbladder. He's like, no, I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to redo that. So they redid my gallbladder. When they redid my gallbladder, she said I ain't got no kidney stones or nothing. At this time, ain't still no iron, nothing. So at the same time, I wasn't going through the infusion center as well. So they did one. They kept saying they couldn't get no blood. My blood pressure was